we're going to get through quickly Joe the Goose of the West. Sorry, we've got to give 3 votes. And how could I?
Yes.
I almost overlooked a man almost more important than the 2022 Premiership for what he's done in the game. Your captain, Joel Selwood, the 4-time Premiership player, the Premiership captain. If I read out his accolades, I'd be here all night. My computer battery would run flat. But he's called time on his career. Just tell us, he mentioned you, he referenced you in the press conference. Tell us about, or take us inside the conversation that he and you had when he told you that he was done.
It was very emotional for me anyway, since coming to the club. Like, his impact on me as a player, I'm a 10 times better player. I'm a far better leader because of the guidance of him. Just me personally, what I've been able to get out of him. And that story is mirrored by everyone that knows Joel. So everyone has their own stories on the impact that he has had on them individually and why he has made them a better person in a football sense and in a personable and selfless sense. And that's why he is so well revered in the Geelong community. He's superhuman in his selflessness and how he just looks for others constantly. Like, where others would just brush over, he's thinking of that person that you just walked past, that you didn't talk to, that was too scared to come up and talk to you, or whatever it might be. And he sensed that and he just went there. You know, he's in so many ways. And people will say, well, you cannot, there's always another player that will come in. And there will be. There'll be a new number 14.
Yep.
But he is irreplaceable in that sense. What he's built around this club, it is the players that are still there, it's their duty to try and sustain it, but to do it with the level of care and empathy that he has for the time that he's been in the game, I'm not sure it's possible, to be honest. He's a unicorn. Forever thankful for what he's done for me, but more importantly, what he's done for the footy club. You know, what a wonderful person, and how fitting that he's sent off as a Premiership captain. You know, I've always really considered him one without the title, and now he really has everything else, and he's thoroughly deserving of that.
That he is. He was my most disliked opponent. Not that we played, head to head, but just the way he goes about it, how ferocious he is. He gave a player a spray. We were doing in the pre-game warm-ups. You might see if you concentrate. One team does their centre bounce, techniques and reps, and then the other team gets their opportunity. And an opposition ruckman was staying back to do an extra jump. And on his way out of the centre bounce, when we were making our way in, Joel just gave him an absolute surf because he's just a ferocious competitor. So he's the most disliked player I've ever played against. But coming to the Cats and seeing what he's like firsthand, people often ask me, is he as good a person as he is made out to be? And the answer is yes, he actually is. And to your point, everything that we take for granted, he doesn't take for granted. He's an incredible person. He is amazing. And this is probably my favorite stat. I saw Swamp Thing and Joshua K, the two stats gurus, going at it. It was a Selwood stat off on Twitter just after he announced his retirement. And this was probably my favorite. So Joel Selwood played 355 AFL games. Only once in those 355 games did he go into a game with the knowledge that he mathematically could not win the premiership. And that was round 23, 2015, the only time the Cats missed the finals in his career. And the reason, and he's still dirty on this, not because of the circumstances, but because of the fact that you and I were playing for Adelaide at the time. We didn't play Geelong. We both played a game short. We split the points on the back of the Phil Walsh passing. So only once in 355 games was it mathematically impossible for that man to win a premiership. And Pat, I don't know how or why, but there would be somehow, if he knew that, not that he focuses on those things, he would have said, we would have found a way.
He would have. And I've got a strong feeling he had a big impact on the decision that it's not right
No
to
doubt.
play, even though at the time their season's on the line. And that speaks to the person, it speaks to the club. And for everyone that knows him and knows him well, they're no doubt better people for that. So congratulations to the skipper. Been incredible.
He has.
It's a magnificent career.
Two last things before we move off the great man and move on to Joe the Goose of the week and then get out of here. Does the Joel Selwood, there's a new stand getting built at the Cattery. Does the Joel Selwood stand sound okay to you? You're not going to say no, but does that sound all right to you?
It does. There's going to be something renamed after him.
Or
don't know what it is.
Yeah, you're not going to save it for yourself. The Dangerfield stand.
I wouldn't have thought. No, I'm not sure what it is. A stand's appropriate. Absolutely. Like the guy, he just, when you ask people about him, they sort of stop and we sort of splutter along trying to fully explain what it is and articulate it. It's so bloody hard because he's that special. He's just, he's an extraordinary human being. He is one of a kind. Yeah. And it's going to be a gaping hole. But, such is the person. What a way to finish. Wasn't going to, play at 80% for him. He's either all in or it's nothing. And that sums him up. You step on the field and it is all in. But off the field, he might seem prickly externally if you're an opposition watcher or player or whatever. But I tell you what, he's so caring, so kind, humble. What a guy. What a person.
What a person indeed. Joel Selwood retires as the Premiership captain.